The intention is to build brands. Intention is also to take local brands and build them to a global level. So there is a global value chain integration also as a part of this vision which the Prime Minister has put before us. Certainly when he says Atmanirbhar Bharat, it is not to look inwards and cut India to become an isolationist country. It certainly talks about a confident India which can rest on its strengths and also be able to contribute to the globe, the way in which the Prime Minister rightly pointed out. The production of PPE and masks and also ventilators to an extent has rapidly grown within these 40 days. We have the capability, we have the enterprise to build such capabilities and help the world with it. And therefore India shall continue contributing to the globe. You've also been seeing, I'm moving away from Prime Minister's last night's speech, you've been seeing that the government being led by Prime Minister Modi, even in 2014-19 regime, was a listening, was a sensitive and also was a responding government. And that is why I list before steps which have been successfully taken. It's important for us to recall that now. Even as we talk about building a new India, building an India which is going to be Atmanirbhar. If I were to group them into different categories and list out what has been done by this government, even in between 2014 and 19, if you were to talk about the poor, we had the DBT-based reforms, based on which today, as we look at the migrants, look at the poor, look at the lockdown in their lives and the impact it has made in their lives, the DBT enabled us to directly put money into their accounts, and they didn't even have to go to the bank to collect it. The bank mitras were able to come and deliver the money, and therefore that reform based on Jan Dhan accounts, based on Aadhaar and based on mobile technology has brought a revolution in this country which many countries do recall now, and many of them are not able to do it, although India is able to do it. So for the poor, the DBT, the micro insurance schemes, PM Awas Yojana, Ujjwala Yojana, again something which has made it possible for people to have free cooking gas in the last 3 months. It wouldn't have been possible to reach out to the poor to have their cooking gas given unless the Ujjwala scheme was so successfully implemented. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and Ayushman Bharat. And therefore for the poor, during the last tenure, the several schemes which benefited were all reform driven. If I were to talk about agriculture in the same spirit, PM Fasal Bima Yojana, PM Kisan Yojana, which again has come off handy, that we were able to front load the money to the Kisan during this lockdown. Otherwise it wouldn't have been possible. Creating new fisheries department, Krishi Sinchai Yojana, were all aimed at bringing reform in agriculture. Similarly, talking of business and also trying to bring in better business environment. PSB cleanups happen, public sector banks clean up after a heavy load of phone banking resulting in NPAs. Public sector banks recapitalization, FDI liberalization, ease of doing business reforms, which were taken down to the third level of administration governance, IBC reforms, GST reforms, and today because of the GST reforms, you're able to see what impact lockdown is having on small and medium businesses. And finally, reforms in other areas, very quickly to recall. National Highway Authority, the TOT plans, the airport privatizations, power sector reforms, which resulted in India becoming a power surplus country from shortages always. 175 gigawatts of solar targets out of 86 gigawatt has already been achieved out of that number. And cleaning up of the coal mine sector. These are all things which I would want to recall here before we talk about what we are offering in the Atmanirbhar Bharat. This is the foundation. This is the credential with which the Prime Minister has always been on the side of reform, reform for better living in this country, ease of living in this country.
नमस्कार।